All right, let's do this. Cool. So let's start with that head first. Okay, so today's like our last day of this strength movement phase. Okay, so this unstructured work. So we're going to go hard at it. And nice and simple. So we're going to start with the spine, the headquarters first. Okay, and all we're going to do to start off with is just kind of index finger and thumb out. We're going to just connect it to the temple and the jaw. Okay, both sides, and then we're going to just slowly come out of it. Okay, now from there, all we're going to do is we're going to glide our head to the side to make contact with the index finger and the thumb, and we're just going to glide side to side. Okay, so nothing too crazy, and you want to make sure that you're hitting your fingers simultaneously, as opposed to like crooked, like temple touches first and the jaw kind of thing, right? So you want to make sure you keep it simple, and obviously the further the hand, the harder it becomes. So maybe again, just start gentle, just assess what the neck is doing this morning first, and then slowly and gradually maybe you can take your hand out a little bit further and further. But the aim is to touch the temple and the jaw simultaneously on your fingers. It doesn't need to be done fast. Really straightforward, nothing too crazy. All right, so from there, we're going to glide forwards and backwards. So nice and simple. Imagine your chin is on a tabletop. And all we're going to do, guys, okay, coming forward should be fairly simple. Coming back, you want to give yourself as many chins as possible. But again, you want to make sure you're looking at a fixed point, okay? And you just want to glide forwards and backwards. Nothing crazy here. So we went side to side. Now we're just going to go forwards and backwards. Okay, I put my hands on my chest. Don't ask me why. Okay, you don't have to. This is pretty straightforward, nice and simple. Just notice what's happening in between your shoulder blades, maybe just below the neck. Okay, things are firing up. Just be mindful. Keep it going. Last few seconds. All right, so from here, what we're going to do is we're going to connect those four dots together. So what I would suggest is if you found that side to side, that glide a little bit tricky, okay, or like, it's hard to coordinate or anything like that, then get your fingers out again, okay, and what we're going to do is just a very, very small outreach first, and then we're going to start with coming to the side, forwards, side, back. So effectively, we're going to go into a little circular glide, okay, in one direction. So again, just like any circular work, we're going to make sure we're not trying to amplify as much as possible. Just start small, and then gradually, as you build more confidence, then you can start to make that circle a little bit bigger. Okay, and if you don't need your fingers, that's cool as well. Okay, so think about keeping your shoulders still. We're just going in one direction right now. Again, it helps if you can see your screen, maybe you can see your silhouette. Okay, kind of just look at yourself, maybe just to kind of figure out whether you're gliding. What does it look like? Okay, so you have some sort of visual feedback. If you're like, nah, I don't want to look at myself, that's cool. Maybe just look straight ahead, find a fixed point and keep your eyes locked in that position. And change directions. Again, you don't need to put your hands on the chest. Okay. It helps. Make sure you have your hands out to the side. Okay. You don't need to do this quick. Then slow a couple of reps right the way down and see how much of a big circle can you create. You may feel natural going one way than the other way. So just be mindful, that's okay. Last couple. Okay, cool. So from here, all we're going to do, guys, is we're going to work above the hips. Okay, so still kind of looking at the spine. And today, what we're going to do is we look at the headquarters, and rather kind of going to this midsection, all we're going to do is we're going to go down a little bit. Okay, so the intention is going to be pretty straightforward. Again, we're going to try to keep the collarbone, the head very, very still. Okay, feet are going to be roughly under the hips, and we're going to see if we can just glide our hips, okay, to the side, back to the middle, and boom. So the intention here is I'm going to keep my upper back very still, okay, and smooth. So, you know, think about if the hands were to be to the side, we're going to just literally touch, slow control, without really leaning to the side from the upper body, okay? So again, the lower body, or if you like, just above the hip, that portion of the spine, the lower back region, we're trying to glide side to side. Again, nothing too big, okay, meaning like that small. Effectively, you'll feel like, you know, your spine is curving a little bit, not in a normal way. Okay, so it's more of a side bend without a bend. And you may feel this coming up slowly to the, you know, mid back region, maybe, or just above the lower back. Feet are nice and grounded, so nothing too crazy. Again, it helps to have that visual representation. So if you can see yourself, that's cool. Okay, just notice that the collarbone, the head is very, very still. Okay, and everything below the rib cage essentially is the stuff that we're trying to move. As it gradually starts to kind of feel a little better, which I hope it does. But you can start to kind of essentially see, well, you know, can I push that a little bit further? Okay, meaning kind of reaching to the side a little bit. Can I reach a little bit further? Okay, so from here, what we're going to do is the hip, same thing. We're going to keep the collarbone. And again, it's a very, very small thing. We're going to be just pushing the hip forward and then bringing it back. Now, it isn't a smooth criminal kind of like, you know, leaning forwards and backwards from the legs, but very, very simple, again, from that lower back region. Okay, so from front on, again, you may not see very much, but it's very, very subtle. So effectively now, you're trying to round without already tucking the butt, and you're trying to arch. Just bringing awareness to the portions of your spine and trying to control, okay, using only the stuff that we have available along the spine. Nothing too crazy. Okay, let's see if we can just connect those two, okay, four corners, okay? So effectively from front, everything's still, we're gonna move to one side, a little bit forwards, boom, back. Okay, so it's a circular motion. Everything above the rib cage is very, very still. We're just going in one direction. Maybe this is what belly dancers do, I don't know. But basically, training to be belly dancers, that's what we're doing right now. Okay, so there isn't really much of a leaning forwards or backwards from the upper body here. Okay, so on the chest area, we're fixed in one place. Change directions. Think about what the front of your body, think about what your stomach area can be doing to help with this. Wow. Beautiful. Okay, and we'll pause it there. Okay, so from here, we're going to go straight into our lower body. And over the last 3 weeks, okay, we've been kind of working in this non-linear way to think about, we've been saying, okay, feet roughly under the hips, facing forward as if they're on a rail track. But from there, we're going to choose one leg that's going to move, and the leg that's going to be stabilizing, although it's facing forward, we're going to be working in this 45-degree angle, okay, so somewhere in this plane over here. So it's not a forward, it's not like a side, it's somewhere in the 45. Now from there, what we have also been doing is just kind of circular motion coming forwards, okay, in one way, and then eventually going back the other way. What we introduced last week and what we're going to do this week is we're going to be alternating these circles. Okay, so effectively what we're going to do here, and again, it's going to be a long period of time, okay, so 90 seconds, minute and a half on one side is not a small amount of time. Well, our legs are definitely going to feel this burning sensation, things like that. The key thing here, the reason we have it timed is so that A, you don't need to rush and try to get as many as possible. B, try slowly and gradually amplify, so try to get bigger and bigger. Now, if you lose balance and, kind of have to catch yourself, put the foot on the ground, that's okay. It's not the end of the world, okay? We're going to just try to do our best, okay? So it helps, as always, with the circular motion, start small and then slowly build out, okay? What we're going to start off with here, guys, is, okay, we're going to have the toes in front of us. So let me step back a little bit, okay? From here, we're going to slowly drag it back behind us, reaching as far back. Now, again, I'm going to use my hands and my spine to help me out. Curl the heel to the bum. Slowly come up. We're going to reach as far forward as possible. Again, this leg has to accommodate this. Then we're going to, okay, from there, when it touches the ground, we're going to bring the knees up to our chest as much as possible. Keep the heel to the bum. Reach as far back with the legs as possible. And slowly bring it in front of us as far as possible. And then repeat that process. Okay, so alternating circles. We'll go in 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. There is no rush. This is our last rep. Finishing that full circle if you can, please. And rest. Let's shake it off. I was definitely burning. Okay, here we go. To the other side. So again, facing forward. Okay, 45. Find your point, and let's start. Nice, 30 seconds. We're going to be patient. We'll make this our last rep. Finishing that full circle. And rest. Okay. So shaking it off. So from here, guys, we're going to move upstairs to our arms a little bit, and we're going to get into that T-spine a little bit as well. Okay. So one of the big ideas, we're going to be going into our arm swing. One of the big ideas that we've been playing with is this idea of using the whole body weight to get behind and creating a momentum. Okay. And something to be mindful of is obviously, you know, the harder we go, the more momentum we create, the faster it's going to be, right? But you want to make sure when we introduce this coordination element, we want to make sure that obviously our rhythm matches the coordination a little bit, okay? So let's just kind of start by just bringing awareness again, what we are meant to be doing or what it should feel like a little bit. So just standing nice and tall, moving nothing but our arms. Just like create a circle, like maybe 5 circles one way, just with the arms, nothing else right now. And then go to the other side. Okay, pretending there's a wall on this side and a wall on this side. Okay, nothing too crazy. Now, let's come back to the first side again. Okay, and this time, same thing with the arm swing, but the arm is being propelled by the whole body. So I'm going to get my whole body involved. Okay, and let's just go do the 5 circles again. So effectively, my arm, my fingers are relaxed. I'm using my legs, 5 circles one way, then 5 circles the other way, and rest. So hopefully you can feel the difference between the qualities, right? When we're just using arms as the main thing without using anything, like yes, the movement is happening, but the quality is completely different. As opposed to when I get my whole body behind it, so you can see how relaxed I can be, and it almost feels like my arms are trying to get longer, right? So what we're going to do is this. Okay, we've been working on this nice and simple forwards and backwards motion. Okay, so last week we did this, okay, for time. Today we're going to go straight into our figure of 8. And the way we're going to do figure of 8, there's 2 ways we can do it, and we're going to do both. So the first one, or you may have a natural side. Again, that's cool, but be mindful, okay, of that side or the way we're going to be doing it, which may be a little bit more challenging, in which case you may need to slow down a little bit. So the first thing that we're going to do is, okay, our hands are going to come by our side in front of us, and then boom, we're going to rotate, okay, and reach over to the other side, and it's going to brush past the opposite hip. So effectively, we're creating this, okay, figure of 8 motion. Now, this is one way, okay, so where I'm brushing past my hips from underneath me, okay. Then the second figure of 8 would be, look at this, overarm. So I'm coming over my arm, boom, over my arm, okay. So again, this is going to be a little more natural for more people. Maybe I'm generalizing, but that's just what I found. Okay, so we're going to be working both figure of 8. So let's just kind of take that to the other side again, just to remind ourselves, figure of 8. So, okay, so this is my left side now. I'm going to go underneath me, past my hip, boom. Nice and simple. Just kind of, I'm drawing that figure of 8. I'm just understanding or trying to visualize what that feels like. You'll notice that spine needs to obviously accommodate this. Okay, let's change. So this time I'm going to come over, brush past, boom, brush past, boom, brush past, boom. Okay. All right, so we should know what we're doing now. Let's kind of go straight into it. We'll go 45 seconds per, direction. Okay, so we're going to go 45 seconds in one way, then 45 seconds in the other way, and then change arms. So it's a minute and a half worth per side. Okay, so if you're ready, we'll go in 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Making sure you're breathing. And change. Time. Okay. We'll go to the other side. We'll go in 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. And change. And rest. Okay, so from here, let's go into a little bit of wrist prep. So we're going to just go straight into the ground. Okay. And from there, all we're going to do is sitting down, maybe just pulse a little bit in this deep knee bend. Okay, so you're sitting onto your heels, nice and simple, nothing too crazy. Okay, just before we get to the wrists. And if this is okay, you can also just kind of slide or pulse a little bit just side to side. Okay, so effectively just getting to the knee joint a little bit, the shins, the ankles. And as we do this, remember with the wrist prep, guys, we are looking to kind of make sure we maintain integrity to the elbows. So make sure the elbows are locked out throughout. And the shoulders, okay, are also pushing the ground away, okay? So effectively we have this roundness of protraction in the shoulders. So if we're good, let's just start with the fingers, face back towards our knees, push the world away. Our elbows should naturally be locked here. We're just gonna sit forwards and backwards initially. Okay, this is okay, just a little sway side to side. From there, all we'll do is fingers point to the side, and we'll just rock side to side as well. Okay. Maybe a little semicircle kind of leaning forward into the corners now. And then from there, fingers pointing straight ahead, and then just rock forwards and backwards. Okay, maybe a little semicircle again, leading into those corners. And then from there, last one. Okay, fingers back towards our knees like so. Okay, so again, you can bend your elbows if you want to, but then we're gonna push the world away from us, ears and nowhere near the shoulders, posturing up, and just sitting forwards and backwards. Now again, this is the, okay, this may take a little bit of refinement. Okay, so again, don't crank anything up, just slowly and gradually, as your body allows you to go a little bit further, you can take that refinement, okay? Meaning after a couple of, rocking side to side, forwards and backwards, if it feels good, you can readjust your hands a little bit, okay? The same thing is applying. Elbows are locked naturally here, ears are nowhere near the shoulders. You keep pushing the world away from you. Okay, so from here, all we're gonna do this morning is keeping it very, very simple, okay? We're just gonna kind of get into different portions of our hands, and you guys are going to be in charge of the intensity and the dosage. So what we're going to do is just kind of, sitting into this all four position, okay? So there's a little bit of a weight, over our wrist. So you can see my shoulders are, somewhat over my wrist. All we're going to do is we're going to just start with the 4 places that we just did, okay? So, hands face back. We can just go into any direction we want to. So the fingers can, slowly make their way back towards the knees, okay? But we'll keep moving them. Now, couple of things that I want to do this morning as well is at some point you're going to come into your fingertips, okay? Just nice and simple, and then you're going to put them down, and you can continue moving. So if we say, just so you guys are clear, okay, we start fingers back behind us, we're going to slowly make our way to the front. On that front bit, let's go into the fingertips, let's come down, and make our way back to the knees still. When we come to the front, let's go into the fingertips again, down, and then boom, okay, we'll make our way back, okay? So let's kind of do that, just nice and simple. No, hey, it's not about how many reps can you get in. We'll just kind of explore a little bit. And if you kind of feel confident, and you can take it a little bit more, you can look just literally fall more and more forward. So there's a little bit more weight on your hands to deal with now, right? And this is what I meant by kind of, starting to dictate the dosage a little bit, okay? So if you can, keeping the same quality, okay? Keeping the weight building more and more on your wrists. Okay, the fingers should be spread. Elbows are naturally locked throughout the movement. Try to keep your ears away from the shoulders as much as possible. And last few seconds, don't rush it. And then finishing that off. And rest. Beautiful. Okay, so from here, the only last thing that we're going to do here, guys, is just the back of the wrist a little bit, okay? And what we're going to do here is you got 2 options, okay? So the easiest one, okay, is, again, if you're not used to doing this, I'll probably take this one, make it a knuckle, fist to fist, like so, connecting them. And then we're just going to have them onto the ground. Now notice my forearms, my elbows are on the ground, okay? From side view, my chest is what's hovering over the hands, not my face, okay? From here, I'm going to slowly just push into the back of the wrist. I'm going to try to lock my elbows out, shoulders are nowhere near the ears. I'm going to come back down again. That'll be rep number 1. So from the front, just so you guys are clear. Okay, so this is the easy option here, and that's nice and simple. I say easy. Okay, this is safer. And again, much better because you can keep the weight nice and even. And that's what we want, the weight to be nice and even. If you're good, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit, hands under the shoulders. From here, we're going to slowly, boom, come to the outside. Same thing, but the elbows don't touch the ground. And then we're going to roll up nice and proud. Okay, so with this one, it's a little bit more complex because we have to break at the wrist and the elbows. There's a little bit of coordination involved. Already there's a lot more weight. Okay, just nice and simple, 30 seconds. Let's go. Okay, so take one option and just slow. And if I say to you, like, what you're trying to do here is not kind of get as many reps as possible or not trying to go as hard as possible. Think about that weight distribution. And what I mean by weight distribution, guys, is that you should feel, okay, in control of the movement, okay, throughout. So if I was to say to you, hey, take a pause, you should be able to pause at the dime, okay, no matter where you are in that range of motion, okay, you should be able to take a little bit of pause. So that means don't rush, don't buckle, okay, don't go kamikaze, just slow, gradual. Everything is silky smooth and under control. Last few seconds. And rest. Beautiful. Coming back onto, okay, the feet like so. Again, take a couple of pulses, okay. And then from there, what we're going to do is balls of our feet. So untuck. Okay, make sure you sweep your hands, you get the pinky little guy. And again, we're going to just rock forwards and backwards initially, nothing too crazy. So remember what I said at the start, this is our fourth and last session on this theme of strength out of alignment, okay? So the objective today is to kind of try get 3 to 4 rounds of 3 minutes work in there, okay, of what we have been working towards. So just preparing the body accordingly. Now from here, if you guys are good, look at this. We're going to place one hand, just turn sideways so you can see this. We're going to just turn, we're going to place the palm, the heel of a palm onto one heel. And as we kind of push down more, we're going to push the hip forward, and the hip is coming forward because my butt's coming on. So my hips are pushing forwards, I'm falling back. And then I'm going to sit back down onto my heel, or try to go to the other side. I'm just going to alternate side to side. Last one. Okay, once you're done, we can stand up, shake it off, okay? Then we'll go to our last little preparatory work, which is gonna be done in a squat. So we've kind of sort of moved the joints of the hips, knees, and ankles. We're just gonna load a few things up and start to integrate the spine up body now, okay? So we're gonna go into our squat. So remember with this, taking a squat stance, that's obviously comfortable for you, but making sure more than anything, okay, that heels are in contact with the ground at all times. What that means is as you squat down, you know, if you're really restricted, especially through your ankles or hips, just put something underneath your heels, okay? So, you know, let's say, okay, the edge of this mat, I don't know, it's like an inch or whatever, but it's plenty for me to, boom, I can pull my heels out here and I can get into a better squat position, okay? So, you know, whatever works for you, maybe it's a book, okay, whatever you have lying around, obviously that's only if you're tight, but if you're good, just take a squat, nice and simple, boom. And all we're gonna do here to start off with is, and you can see my spine, I'm super tight this morning, okay? So spending some time down here, we're going to just simply drive our knees, allowing the heel to lift up on one leg, one heel is on the ground. My posture is up. Now, if this is too hard, guys, what we can do is we can place the hand, okay, and use the ground as a, okay, as a friend. So that's nice and simple. Okay, we can use the ground, or we can just use, okay, our own strength, but making sure one heel comes in contact with the ground, okay, and then one, boom. Okay, nothing crazy. Last couple. Okay, from here, okay, sitting in a squat still, what we'll do is we'll just grab our elbows, tuck our chin onto the chest. I'm gonna look to just round and just hang out. Okay, just getting heavy with the upper back. Bum still down. And just want to use our breath for the time being. So right now, okay, it may be really uncomfortable. You may feel really restricted. That's okay. Do your best. Now, from here, you're going to slowly look to zip everything through the spinal column, posture up. You can even bring your hands up a little bit high if you want. Okay, so we're nice and elongated from the spine as possible. We're going to take a pause here. Again, try to zip everything to the upper back. And then again, holding the elbow to elbow, chin tucks in. Getting heavy from the elbows, the head, and use your breath. Slow, controlled, posturing up. Hands come up if they need to. Elbow to elbow, chin down. Slowly zip everything up. And then last one. And slowly zipping it up. Nice and tall and stand up. Okay, so from here, okay, nothing too crazy. We're going to go into a little bit of a work. I'm just going to remind ourselves, okay, so now we're going to be going into a little bit of upper body strength work and obviously a little bit lower body strength work too. So this is only going to work as well as, you know, kind of your willingness to, I guess, stay patient, you know, kind of and stay true. And also, you know, slow and controlled, right? So what I mean by that is just as a reminder, you know, what we have been working towards is this, you know, 3 to 4 step part, right? So effectively, we're going to be working on one leg. We're going to go into any trajectory we want to. So the way we build this out is to making sure is if we're going to be testing water, okay? So nice and slow, we're going to be just kissing toes or heels, lightly touching first, okay? From there, we're going to shift our weight over. Now, wherever we plant our feet, okay, that's the trajectory we're going to go into. And we're going to throw a squat. And the squat is defined here, in this case, as my hamstrings making contact with my calf. So I'm going to, boom, allow myself to do that. So yes, the heels may come off. That's totally fine. Okay, now from there, you have options. Today, we're going to go the opposite hand rather than the same side as the leg that we're bending, okay, the squatting at. The opposite hand can come into the boom ground. Now, making sure you guys understand the hand orientation dictates the shoulder orientation. Okay, from here, we're going to press as hard as possible for 2 to 3 seconds. Okay, try to get light as possible on our feet. And then from here, we can slowly, okay, the back leg can come off, the front leg, whichever one leg can come off. We can just place our hands. We're going to hug the elbows and we're going to look to listen to the ground. Okay, now in this push, if you're not as strong, look, you can put the knees on the ground. Boom. Yes, you can deload it, but this is the main important thing here. When we come up, this leg is still a working leg, okay? So we want to make sure we arrive, boom, in that squat position. Now it's your job to use the strength from this leg to drive into the ground, get light as possible on the back leg, and look, you're going to pick and stand tall, as opposed to launch and push from the back leg. So, you know, again, we're going to go for 3 minutes. And the idea here isn't to kind of really rush and do as many as possible kind of thing, but to get heavy, to be stable and try just essentially utilize one side of your body. okay? So let's just have a look what happens, huh? Okay, without talking too much. Okay, so 3 minutes, nothing too crazy. We will go in 3, 2, 1. Let's get it. Okay, so just choosing wherever you need to. Keep it going. Let me have a look at you guys. Keep it going. Nice. Remember in the push, try hug the elbows and try favor one side, even in the push. Okay, keep it going. You got plenty of time. Okay. Nice. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Okay, that's the last rep. Okay, have a quick rest, quick drink of water. Okay, and let me just tell you one little thing. So when you're moving around, okay, a couple of things that you want to be mindful of, guys. Okay, especially as you make your way down. So let's say we come down here, we've done our, straight arm bit, boom. Now look at this. As long as one leg is in contact and okay, the leg that's kind of, we squatted on, that leg doesn't really move or leave the ground. However, the hand that you're putting down on the ground, the same side, possibly, maybe if it's like, let's say if I went here, okay, let's say if I went here, we can literally kind of put the hands into the ground, we can pick that leg up, boom. So to make it hard, again, from there, I can place the leg back, but remember, we're gonna be using this leg to then slowly drive up, boom. Yeah, so again, think about, even in the push, so let's say from front on, kind of if this is hands, boom, kind of I'm taking the hand up. Even though my fingers are here, notice, I'm gonna bias this side as much as possible. I'm going to literally use this side as opposed to being somewhere here. Because that means the fingers are loaded quite greatly too, right? So think about really just relying on one side a lot more than, okay, both sides. Okay, of course, you're using both sides to help you out. Okay, but try predominantly lean into one corner. Let's get up. Let's go one more time. Okay, we'll go in 3, 2, 1. Let's get it. Okay. Nice. Boom. Good. That's better, Jess. And keep it going. Nice. Nice. That's good. Nice, John. That's good. Nice, Søren. Snarly. Keep it going. Keep it going. And that is time. Just finish that off. Okay, a little rest. Looking good. That's good. Looking good. Okay. So for our third set, what we'll do is we'll just change. So this is where the tension needs to be at. Okay. Effectively, what we're going to do here, guys, is the hand that we're going to place on the ground first. Okay. So think about whichever leg we're going down to. Let's say I'm squatting in this side. We've been kind of placing the opposite hand, okay, to the squatting leg. Now we're going to go onto the same side hand. Okay. So, you know, again, depending on wherever you want to put it, boom, we come up. And now you gotta, okay, obviously move a leg or two, okay, a leg or two, just one leg. From here, look, you can come up like so if you want to come through. But now the trick is you gotta come find that position first, get yourself back into the squat that you arrived in, and then you're gonna boom, drive into the ground, and then boom, off, okay? So this is gonna take a little bit different organization a little bit. So the first thing, the simple thing to think about is whichever side I'm squatting to, the same side hand I'm putting down on the ground first. And that's the side that I'm kind of really pushing onto, okay? So again, be patient with this, okay? So don't go too crazy straight off the bat. Let's come onto our feet and we'll start in 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get it, okay? And again, even with the legs, think about challenging yourself, reaching back behind you initially. Okay, so remember the same side hand is going into the ground. Notice where that squat leg is, if you were like taking it off. It's the same side hand grip. Keep it going. Keep it going. Nice. Nice, Talia, that's good. Remember that squat, you're trying to make sure the hamstring meets the calf. Okay. Nice, Jess. Good. Boom. On the same side hand as the squat. Press away, try to get light on your toes as possible. Then, okay, you may need to remove a limb, throw that nice strong push, and place that feet back, okay, where you landed on. Get that hamstring to meet the calf first, and then press out of there from the legs. Nice, finish that rep off. Nice. Okay, that was really good, looking really good. We've got one more round, guys, of the same thing. Okay, nice and simple, straightforward, nothing too crazy. Okay, so you guys are looking really, really good. Okay, really, really awesome. Now, the challenge that I want to just kind of propose to you guys is with the legs, we're so used to, look at our vision, everything is like, in this, I can see this thing in front of me, right? But don't be scared to, kind of rather than just placing our feet wherever we can see in front of us or to the side, maybe actually take it back behind us. Think about the rotation work that we were doing at the start. You can see back behind you, but you were reaching back. Slowly made that contact. Now, kind of coming into this here, it's a completely different animal. So this is like a trajectory that we can play with also. Still the same side hand can boom come up. Okay, I can push, coming back. And then the tricky part now is, look, the front leg, right, is the light leg. We want to try to get the back leg to push and then slowly off, right? So it just presents a new challenge a little bit. So let's see all the steps that we take, can it be a back step kind of thing or a side step? Okay, let's have a look if we can do that. One last time, let's get back on our feet. We'll go in 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's bring it, okay? Let's watch you guys. Nice, again, slow, so you can't launch yourself in these places. Okay. Oh, just went too hard, too early. No, that's cool. Nice. Now again, push the ground away and then get light on your toes. Beautiful. And now push. Yeah, looking good. And looking back good. Nice. Very nice. Okay. Keep it going. Keep it going. It's the last one. Nice, Cyril. Let's keep it. Nice, John. Looking strong. Nice, Jess. Good work, guys. Good work. Whoa, that was the hard one, John. Keep it going. Keep it going. Okay. Let's get one more full rep in there. Again, slow. Okay. Make sure, again, remember, this is hard as you make it. So again, soft. You want to make sure you rely, okay, on your own strength. Don't try to create momentum. Smooth. Nice, Surin. Okay, we'll finish that rep off. That's good work, guys. Come on over. Let's have a quick chat. How's everybody feeling? We good?
Yeah.
You guys did a good job. How do you guys feel compared to like what 3-4 weeks ago?
Definitely more capable. Yeah.
Yeah. Being more creative.
Yeah, you guys look pretty slick. You know, I think you guys are a little bit more confident in the body, just moving around the space, you know, kind of, and it is still challenging for sure, but you can see you can navigate those waters a little bit, right? It's not like as panicky or like you don't have to just like, oh, bail out kind of thing. It's really good. You guys are looking really, really good. That's awesome. So obviously that was like the last session we're going to do on that stuff. Okay, we're going to go back into a little bit more structured things from next week onwards. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit more kind of foundation type of work. Now, if you're going to be joining us next Monday, like what would be really, really cool is, you know, if you have like 2 little benches or stools or whatever kind of thing that we can do a little bit of support hold in, and we can use that as a main tool. Okay, so if it's a stool or anything like that, that'd be amazing. Okay, basically we're gonna do things like the support hold, tuck ups and things like that. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Hey Vic, if you happen to have boxes and parallettes, is there any preference from your point of view?
No, not really. I mean, look, you can use parallettes for sure. If you got parallettes, use the parallettes, you know. But if everybody in the session, if they have the box, we may do things like box straddles and stuff, which would be really cool because, like, you know, it hits the lower body in a different way. So that's the goal. So like we're just going to implement a little bit of this. Box is the main thing, you know, like we've been using the tile as the main thing. We'll use the box as the main thing. So a couple of, you know, let's say box, a couple of stools or anything like that. Cool, guys. That's awesome work. Good to see you, Surin. Okay.
Thank you.
See you guys later in the week.
Long time no see, Surin.
See you guys.
Have an amazing day.
Thanks, Big. Bye.